Let me start by saying that I love McDonald's. Yes, you heard that right. This is not a campaign against the big yellow M. However, you gotta stop what you're doing. You gotta stop what you're eating before it's too late. We need to talk about this. If you ask people around the world to name the great cuisines of humanity, you'll hear the same list every time. Italian, French, Spanish, Japanese, Chinese, Indian, or Turkish, depending on who you ask. But almost nobody, and this is not debatable, absolutely nobody says American cuisine. And that's strange, isn't it? This is the richest country on earth, a country with every climate, every ingredient, every immigrant culture, every possible resource, a country that produces more food than almost anywhere else, a country obsessed with cooking shows, celebrity chefs, and food competitions, and yet the American diet is one of the worst in the developed world. So how do we get here? Why do Americans eat so badly, and why does it matter? Let's break it down. These are my points. 1. The regular American diet versus how simple people eat in Europe. If you look at the average American plate, it's built around 3 pillars: ultra-processed carbs, industrial meats, dairy, and sugar, mac and cheese, burgers, chicken nuggets, frozen pizza. Even home cooking often means opening a box, a can, or a plastic bag. Now compare that to how ordinary, non-wealthy people eat in Europe. A basic lunch in Italy: pasta with tomatoes, olive oil, basil, maybe a piece of bread, maybe a small salad. Basic dinner in Spain: lentils with vegetable, a tortilla de patatas, a piece of fish with olive oil and lemon. A basic meal in France: a soup, a piece of bread, some cheese, a simple roast chicken with herbs. These are not fancy meals. There are not Michelin-star dishes. These are everyday foods made with few ingredients, prepared with care, and eaten at a table. The difference is not money, the difference is culture. Europeans, even the simplest families, grow up with the idea that food is something you prepare, something you share, something that has identity. Americans grow up with the idea that food is something you buy, something you eat, something that fills you up fast so you can move on to the next thing. The second point: the main ingredients in United States diet. If you reduce the American diet to its core ingredients, you get a short list: corn syrup, processed cheese, industrial chicken, industrial beef, white flour, vegetable oil, and salt. That's it. These ingredients appear in thousands of products, from fast food to frozen meal to snacks to sauces. The American food system is built on cheap calories, not quality. And this is one of the reasons the United States is not recognized as a great cuisine. Great cuisines are built on tradition, technique, regional identity, and respect for ingredients. The United States food system is built on efficiency, profit, and speed. You can't build a culinary legacy on corn syrup and chicken nuggets. That's impossible. Now we will get a little more philosophical. The paradox of food TV. Why Americans watch cooking but don't cook? Here's the funniest part. Americans love food content. Cooking shows, baking competitions, celebrity chefs, food influencers, TikTok recipes, YouTube cooking channels. The US produces more food entertainment than any other country on earth. And yet, the average American still eats McDonald's, Taco Bell, frozen dinners, boxed mac and cheese, drive-through coffee with 60 grams of sugar. Why? Because in the US, food is entertainment, not a practice. Watching someone cook is relaxing. Cooking yourself is inconvenient. Food shows are fantasy. Real food is too much work. It's like watching a travel documentary but never leaving your hometown. This fourth point, I believe, is one of the most important. Comfort food. Why American comfort food is so basic. Every culture has comfort food, of course, but in most countries, comfort food is elaborate, slow, and deeply rooted. In Japan, ramen, curry rice, miso soup. In Mexico, pozole, mole, tamales. In Italy, risotto, lasagna, polenta. In France, cassoulet, coq du vin, gratin. In India, biryani, dal, butter chicken. These dishes take time, they take technique, they take ingredients that have meaning. American comfort food, mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, chicken tenders, grilled cheese, meatloaf. These are food designed for speed, simplicity, and childlike nostalgia. They're not culinary traditions, they're emotional shortcuts. The fifth point is interesting and weird at the same time, and at least for me, because I stand entirely on the other side of the spectrum. Hence, I don't understand this. The American fear of the known plate. One of the most fascinating culture traits in the United States is obsession with knowing exactly what something is before eating it. If the dish is called beef stew, chicken sandwich, cheese pizza, American or fine. But if the dish is called ratatouille, bibimbap, paella, pho, goulash, suddenly there's hesitation. Americans want the title of the dish to tell exactly what's inside. They want food to be predictable, familiar, and safe. This is why so many Americans say things like, I don't eat anything I cannot pronounce. I don't want to try something I don't know what it is. I don't like food that looks weird. The mindset kills culinary curiosity. It closes the door to entire cultures. Sixth point, the aversion of incorporating other cultures' food. America is a country of immigrants, but ironically, it's also a country where many people refuse to eat immigrant food unless it's been Americanized. Real Chinese food, too strange. Real Indian food, too spicy. Real Japanese food, too raw. Real Middle Eastern food, too foreign. Real Mexican food, too complex. So what's next? The United States takes this cuisine and waters them down until they fit the American palate, which leads us to the bastardization of Mexican cuisine. Mexican food is one of the greatest cuisine in the world. It's ancient, complex, regional, and incredibly diverse. But in the United States, Mexican food often means hard-shelled tacos, ground beef with seasoning packets, sour cream, shredded cheese, burrito the size of a newborn, nachos drowning in orange sauce. This isn't Mexican food. This is Tex-Mex fast food, engineered for speed and calories. And yet, it has become one of the most popular cuisines in the country. Why? Because it fits the American formula: cheap, fast, predictable, heavy, covered in cheese. The tragedy is that millions of Americans think that this is what Mexican cuisine actually is. My 8th point, the negative impact of fast food culture. Fast food is not just a type of restaurant in the United States. It is a cultural institution. It's everywhere. It's cheap, it's fast, it's consistent, it's aggressively marketed, and it shapes the American palate from childhood. Now, kids grow up thinking chicken should be breaded and fried, vegetable should be hidden or avoided, meals should be eaten in the car, food should be soft, salty, and sweet, portions should be enormous. Fast food becomes the baseline. Everything else feels inconvenient. This is why the United States struggles to develop a strong culinary identity. You cannot build a national cuisine on drive-through windows. That's not going to happen. 9th point. The importance of an open mind is one of the easiest ways to expand your worldview. Trying new dishes teaches you patience, curiosity, respect, cultural understanding, and appreciation for craft. Many Americans approach food with fear instead of curiosity. They want comfort, not discovery. They want familiarity, not challenge. And when a country closes its palate, it closes its mind. So, why do Americans eat so bad? Because the United States built a food culture around convenience over quality, speed over tradition, quantity over flavor, entertainment over practice, familiarity over exploration, profit over health. The result is a nation with incredible potential but very little culinary identity. My final thoughts about these subjects. American could have one of the greatest cuisine in the world. It has the ingredients, it has the diversity, it has the creativity, it has the resources, but it lacks the culture and mindset that food is more than fuel. Food is memory, food is identity, food is history, food is connection. Until Americans embrace that idea, the country will remain a place where people watch Gordon Ramsay yell about risotto while eating microwaved mac and cheese. If you're looking for answer to that problem, check this video here. This is what we did to stay away from processed food. Even if you don't have the space, you can probably plant the spices that will take your meals to a whole new level. My wife and I put these raised beds together and both cook and have beautiful dinners every night. Trust me, it's worth it.